Hi, this is Scott Garibay. I'm continuing. This is another segment on my review for the Strange RPG. I do want to talk about the storytelling aspects within the Strange RPG. So the Strange RPG has a really interesting way of building characters. So it uses the descriptor, the type, and the focus, right? So you would use a descriptor like like entertaining, and then the type would be fighter, and then the focus would be carries a quiver. So this would be someone who has aspects like a bard. They could juggle or tell a story or sing or dance, whichever one of those you would like. Fighter means they're going to be able to deal damage, take damage, and then the last one, carries a quiver, means when they deal damage, they're going to be doing that with a bow, right? And so you have these three axes, and you can shift these around to make really different types of characters. And so this is using the same rule set as the Numenera game, and this storytelling aspect is really quite unique. And because you have these three different ways that you can build characters, it allows you to make a really wide array of different characters. Now, one of the things that's interesting about the Strange RPG is it is built around the strange, which is the titular aspect of the role-playing game. And so the strange is this element from it's a realm or a place created originally by aliens, and it is the launch point of the whole tabletop role-playing game, right? And so from this aspect, what you can do is you attach these recursions to the strange. The strange is just almost completely alien, and it's kind of a launch point. It's a nexus, and so then you attach these recursions to it, right? So this is one of the really most interesting aspects of this game, is these recursions. So these are worlds that are attached to the strange, and so basically there are two recursions that are given to you with it. So there's the strange, which is defined within the game, and then there are these two worlds which are given to you within, and one is Ardain, which is based on Sumerian lore, and one is Ruck, which is weird science world, right? So it has a lot of nanotechnology and cyborg implants and things like that, right? So one of the things I think is really brilliant. This is a fantastically brilliant role-playing game. One of the reasons why is you're looking at this from Bruce R. Cordell and Monty Cook, and these are guys that really kind of baked this up and brought this game forward. So both of these guys came out of the best place you can come for tabletop role-playing games, which is Dungeons and Dragons, and they broke off with that group because both really Dungeons and Dragons, wonderful game. I love it. I'm a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan. I own every single edition. I own the core books for every single edition, first through fifth, and so I'm a huge fan. So I just want to say that before I say this. So, but basically, when you put paper to pencil and you're a designer for Dungeons and Dragons, you are dealing with not just the tabletop role-playing game. You are dealing with comic books, novels, video games, movie rights, right? So they're bound. They're quite bound. But Bruce R. Cordell and Monty Cook are both Dungeons and Dragons level tabletop game designers, but here they're completely unbound, and you can see it, right? So Ardain is based on Sumerian lore, right? Who the heck knows about our Sumerian lore? Almost no one. Really unique. This is like flavors you've really never seen before. The weird science, the Ruck, just crazily innovative. This game is innovative from start to finish. It's really high concept. This book is extremely high concept, right? For a tabletop role-playing game, really pushes the envelope. Really just a fantastically beautiful book in many aspects. The way it was written, certainly the way it was drawn and painted, the layout of the book, it's just really fantastic, right? So one of the things that really blew my mind too is these two worlds are completely unique, right? So Ardain and Ruck, so they've built really kind of a GURPS game, like a GURPS universal role-playing system, where you can have these different worlds, right? So the idea of the game is that on session one, you would play in a, the concept that you could use. You could play in a Dungeons and Dragons type world, a fantasy world. You could play in a steampunk world in the second session, and you could play in the last one. You could play in a 1984 Miami Vice world, right? The game even allows for fictional settings, so you could throw in your favorite, Saturday morning cartoon in there, because some of these recursions, these worlds that are built and attached to the strange, are built from a concept of fictional leakage, right? And your characters would jump from one world to the next. So this is really super high concept ideas, really brilliantly well done, fantastic, wonderful, innovative game. Highly suggested. The storytelling is pretty amazing.